Part 1. The Birth of Artificial Intelligence. Imagine a machine that can think, not calculate, not simply follow instructions, but actually think. For centuries, intelligence belonged only to living beings. Humans believed the ability to reason, imagine, and create was something unique, something deeply human. But in the middle of the 20th century, a small group of scientists began asking a dangerous question. What if intelligence is not limited to biology? What if thought itself could be recreated inside a machine? That single question would eventually give birth to one of the most powerful technologies in human history: artificial intelligence. Today, AI writes books, composes music, diagnoses diseases, analyzes global markets, and helps explore distant planets. But the road to this moment was long, uncertain, and filled with both ambition and fear. This is the story of how humanity tried to build a mind, and what happened when the machine began to answer back. The first spark of machine intelligence. The idea of artificial intelligence did not begin with modern computers. In fact, humans have imagined intelligent machines for thousands of years. Ancient myths spoke of mechanical servants created by gods. Early engineers designed mechanical automata, clockwork machines capable of simple movement. But these devices were not intelligent. They followed fixed patterns. True intelligence required something else. It required the ability to learn. The real story begins in the early days of modern computing. During the 1940s and 1950s, the world had just witnessed the technological power unleashed during World War II. Radar systems, early computers, and code-breaking machines had demonstrated that machines could process information faster than humans ever could. But speed alone was not intelligence. Then came a revolutionary idea. What if machines could simulate the human mind? One of the first scientists to seriously explore this possibility was Alan Turing. Turing was a mathematician, a philosopher, and a visionary. In 1950, he proposed a radical test of machine intelligence. It would later be known as the Turing test. The concept was simple but profound. If a machine could communicate with a human through conversation, and the human could not tell whether they were speaking to a person or a machine, then the machine could be considered intelligent. This changed everything. For the first time, intelligence was no longer defined by biology. It could be measured through behavior. If a machine acted intelligent, perhaps it truly was. The birth of artificial intelligence. In the summer of 1956, a small group of scientists gathered for a historic meeting. The event would later become known as the Dartmouth Summer Research Project on Artificial Intelligence. The researchers attending believed something extraordinary was possible. They believed that every aspect of learning and intelligence could eventually be described so precisely that a machine could simulate it. This meeting officially introduced the term artificial intelligence. At that moment, the field of AI was born. Early experiments were promising. Researchers created programs capable of solving mathematical puzzles, proving logical theorems, and playing simple games. For the first time, machines were doing things that once required human reasoning. The excitement was enormous. Some scientists believed human-level AI might be achieved within a generation, but reality was far more difficult. The first AI winter. Early computers were extremely limited. They had little memory, minimal processing power, and almost no ability to handle complex real-world information. AI programs that worked in controlled environments
failed when exposed to the messy complexity of the real world. Language understanding proved especially difficult. Humans effortlessly interpret context, tone, and meaning. Machines could not. By the 1970s, progress slowed dramatically. Funding declined. Many researchers abandoned the field. This period became known as the AI winter. For a time, it seemed that artificial intelligence might remain an unrealized dream. But beneath the surface, a quiet revolution was beginning. Teaching machines to learn. The breakthrough came from a new approach. Instead of programming every rule manually, researchers began asking a different question. What if machines could learn from experience? This idea became known as machine learning. Rather than giving machines explicit instructions, scientists allowed them to analyze data and discover patterns on their own. This was revolutionary. Machines could now improve through exposure to information. They could recognize patterns in images, identify spoken words, and analyze large data sets. But even this approach had limits. The true explosion of AI would not occur until computers became vastly more powerful. The data revolution. In the early 2000s, something changed. The world began generating enormous amounts of data. The internet expanded rapidly. Social media platforms appeared. Digital devices became part of everyday life. Every search, every photo, every video, every message created data. For machine learning systems, this data became the fuel of intelligence. At the same time, computer hardware improved dramatically. Graphics processing units, originally designed for video games, proved extremely powerful for training neural networks. Suddenly, researchers had three critical ingredients: huge amounts of data, massive computing power, and improved machine learning algorithms. This combination ignited the next phase of artificial intelligence. The rise of deep learning. The next breakthrough came with deep learning. Deep learning systems were inspired by the structure of the human brain. They used artificial neural networks composed of multiple layers capable of processing complex patterns. Unlike earlier AI models, deep learning systems could automatically extract features from raw data. This allowed them to recognize images, understand speech, and analyze language with remarkable accuracy. Suddenly, AI systems began outperforming humans in certain tasks. Image recognition systems could identify objects in photographs. Speech recognition software could transcribe conversations in real time. Translation systems could convert languages instantly. The dream of intelligent machines was becoming reality. But what happened next would transform AI forever. The birth of modern AI. By the late 2010s and early 2020s, AI entered a new era. Researchers began building extremely large neural networks, known as large language models. These systems were trained on enormous data sets, containing books, websites, research papers, and conversations. The result was astonishing. Machines could now generate human-like language. They could answer questions, write stories, summarize research, and assist in creative tasks. Systems like ChatGPT demonstrated that machines could participate in natural conversations with humans. Meanwhile, companies such as OpenAI and Anthropic developed increasingly advanced models. New AI assistants like Claude began performing complex reasoning tasks. The boundaries between human and machine intelligence were beginning to blur. A new kind of intelligence. Artificial intelligence was no longer just a research project. It had become part of everyday life. AI systems began assisting doctors in medical diagnosis. Scientists used AI to analyze astronomical data and discover new galaxies. Engineers used AI to design advanced materials and optimize energy systems. Even artists and musicians began collaborating with intelligent algorithms. For the first time in human history, intelligence itself had become a technology. But with great power comes great responsibility. And the next phase of AI would raise questions humanity has never faced before. Questions about control, questions about ethics, and questions about the future of intelligence itself.
The moment AI accelerated. For decades, artificial intelligence grew slowly, quietly, almost invisibly. Researchers experimented with algorithms, universities trained models, and scientists explored the limits of machine learning. But around the middle of the 2010s, something changed. Three powerful forces began to collide: massive amounts of global data, unprecedented computing power, and new neural network architectures capable of learning at extraordinary scale. When these forces combined, artificial intelligence did not simply improve, it exploded. The world was entering a new technological era, one where machines could generate ideas, analyze knowledge, and assist human thinking in ways never imagined. This was the beginning of the AI revolution. Generative AI, machines that create. For most of its history, artificial intelligence focused on analyzing information, recognizing images, understanding speech, sorting data. But the next wave of AI would do something far more surprising. It would create. This new class of systems became known as generative artificial intelligence. Instead of only recognizing patterns, generative models could produce entirely new content. They could write essays, compose music, generate artwork, design products, and simulate conversations. Among the most influential systems were large language models such as ChatGPT. Trained on vast amounts of written knowledge, these systems learned to predict language patterns so effectively that they could produce coherent, human-like responses. Suddenly, millions of people around the world were interacting with AI in ways that once belonged to science fiction. Writers used AI to brainstorm ideas. Students used AI to explore complex subjects. Programmers used AI to generate software code. And businesses began integrating AI into nearly every digital service. Generative AI transformed machines from tools of calculation to partners in creativity. The invisible power, AI cloud infrastructure. Behind the scenes of this revolution was something even more powerful: massive AI cloud infrastructure. Training modern AI systems requires enormous computing resources. Billions, sometimes trillions of parameters must be processed through complex neural networks. This requires vast clusters of specialized hardware. Data centers the size of warehouses began appearing around the world. Inside them, thousands of high-performance processors worked together to train AI models. Technology giants like Microsoft, Google, and Amazon built global cloud infrastructure capable of supporting this computational demand. These systems allowed researchers to train AI models on unprecedented scales. What once required years of computing could now be achieved in weeks. And every new generation of hardware made AI even more powerful. Cloud computing had become the engine of artificial intelligence. The AI companies' race. As the potential of AI became clear, a global race began. Technology companies, startups, and governments
all recognized that artificial intelligence could reshape the balance of economic and technological power. Companies such as OpenAI pushed forward with large language models capable of complex reasoning and conversation. Meanwhile, Anthropic focused on developing advanced AI systems designed with safety and alignment in mind. Their AI assistant, Claude, demonstrated powerful capabilities in reasoning, research, and analysis. Other companies raced to develop their own generative AI technologies, investing billions into research and infrastructure. What began as academic experimentation had become one of the most competitive industries in human history. The AI race was no longer just about technology. It was about economic power, innovation, and global influence. AI in science, accelerating discovery. Artificial intelligence soon began transforming the scientific world. Researchers discovered that AI systems could analyze enormous data sets far faster than human scientists. In biology, AI models helped predict protein structures, accelerating medical research. In physics, AI assisted scientists in analyzing particle collision data from massive accelerators. Astronomers used AI to detect distant galaxies and analyze signals from deep space. For the first time, machines were not just tools of science, they were becoming partners in discovery. Some researchers even began using AI to design new materials, simulate chemical reactions, and explore potential cures for diseases. In laboratories around the world, AI was helping scientists answer questions that once seemed impossible. AI in medicine, a new era of healthcare. One of the most powerful impacts of artificial intelligence has appeared in medicine. Doctors began using AI to detect diseases earlier and more accurately than ever before. AI systems trained on millions of medical images could identify patterns invisible to the human eye. These systems helped diagnose conditions such as cancer, heart disease, and neurological disorders. In hospitals, AI tools assisted doctors in analyzing patient records, predicting treatment outcomes, and recommending personalized care plans. Medical researchers also used AI to accelerate drug discovery. What once required years of laboratory testing could now be simulated through computational models. Artificial intelligence was transforming healthcare from reactive treatment to predictive medicine. And for millions of patients around the world, it offered hope for faster diagnosis and better care. AI in warfare, the new battlefield. But not all uses of AI are peaceful. Military organizations quickly recognized the strategic importance of artificial intelligence. Modern defense systems began incorporating AI into surveillance, logistics, and decision-making. Autonomous drones could analyze terrain and identify targets. AI-powered cyber defense systems could detect digital attacks in real time. Military planners began using AI simulations to model complex battlefield scenarios. This raised difficult ethical questions. If machines could analyze battlefields faster than humans, how much decision-making should be delegated to algorithms? Many experts warned that AI could transform warfare into something faster, more automated, and potentially more dangerous. The intersection of artificial intelligence and military technology remains one of the most debated issues of the modern era. The global AI competition. By the early 2020s, AI had become a global strategic priority. Nations around the world began investing heavily in AI research, infrastructure, and education. Governments recognized that AI could influence economic growth, national security, and technological leadership. International competition intensified. Countries built advanced computing centers and funded large-scale research programs. Universities expanded AI programs to train the next generation of engineers and scientists. The race for AI was no longer just limited to private companies. It had become a global technological competition, and the outcome of this race could shape the future of human civilization. The peak of AI, 2026. By 2026, artificial intelligence had reached a level of capability that once seemed unimaginable. Generative models could write complex research summaries. AI assistants could analyze documents, reason through problems, and help develop new ideas. Scientists began experimenting with AI systems capable of assisting in scientific research itself. But the rapid growth of AI also brought uncertainty. The technology was advancing faster than many institutions could adapt. Regulators struggled to keep pace. Ethicists debated how intelligent systems should be governed. Humanity had created a new form of intelligence, and now the world faced a profound question. How should this intelligence be used? The edge of a new era. Artificial intelligence has moved far beyond the laboratories where it was first imagined. It now influences science, medicine, economics, security, and daily life.
Power without precedent. For decades, artificial intelligence was only an idea, a distant dream imagined by scientists and philosophers. But now, that dream has become reality. Machines can analyze massive amounts of data in seconds. They can generate images, music, and language that once required human creativity. They can even assist scientists in making new discoveries. Artificial intelligence has become one of the most powerful tools ever created by humanity. But every powerful tool carries risk, and the greater the power, the greater the responsibility. Today, the world stands at a critical moment, because the rise of artificial intelligence has created not only opportunity, but also profound uncertainty. The first danger, when truth becomes uncertain. One of the most immediate dangers of AI is the rise of misinformation. Modern generative AI can produce text, images, and videos that look incredibly realistic. At first glance, it becomes almost impossible to distinguish between what is real and what is artificially generated. Fake speeches can be created. Fabricated images can circulate across social media. Entire news stories can be generated automatically. These technologies can be used for creativity and innovation, but they can also be used to spread confusion, manipulate opinions, and influence societies. In a world where information moves at the speed of light, misinformation powered by AI can travel even faster. The challenge facing humanity is no longer just finding information. It is learning how to trust information. The automation crisis. Another challenge lies in the transformation of work itself. Throughout history, technology has always changed the way humans work. The Industrial Revolution replaced many forms of manual labor. Computers transformed offices and communication, but artificial intelligence is different. Because AI has the ability to perform not only physical tasks, but cognitive tasks. AI systems can analyze documents, generate reports, design graphics, write software, and even assist with legal or financial analysis. This creates enormous opportunities for productivity and innovation. But it also raises concerns. If machines become capable of performing more intellectual tasks, what happens to the jobs that rely on those skills? Some experts believe AI will create entirely new industries and opportunities. Others worry about large-scale automation disrupting traditional employment. The reality may lie somewhere between these possibilities. Human societies will need to adapt, retrain, and rethink how work is organized in an age of intelligent machines. The superintelligence debate. Perhaps the most profound debate surrounding artificial intelligence concerns the possibility of superintelligence. Superintelligence refers to a hypothetical AI system that surpasses human intelligence in nearly every domain. Such a system could solve complex scientific problems, design advanced technologies, and make strategic decisions far beyond human capability. For some researchers, this possibility represents an incredible opportunity. A superintelligent AI could help humanity cure diseases, develop sustainable energy, and unlock new frontiers of knowledge. But others warn that such systems could become difficult to control. If an AI becomes significantly more intelligent than its creators, ensuring that it remains aligned with human values becomes an enormous challenge. This is why many scientists today are focusing on AI alignment and safety research. Their goal is simple but critical: to ensure that powerful AI systems remain beneficial, transparent, and under human guidance. The ethics of intelligence. Artificial intelligence forces humanity to confront questions that once belonged only to philosophy. What does it mean to create intelligence? Who should control these technologies? How should society regulate systems capable of influencing global economies, communication networks, and political systems? These questions do not have simple answers. They require cooperation between scientists, policymakers, educators, and citizens. The future of AI will not be determined by technology alone. It will be determined by the choices humanity makes. The future: humans and machines together. Despite the concerns and challenges, many experts remain optimistic about the future of artificial intelligence. Used responsibly, AI could become one of the most powerful tools for solving global problems. Artificial intelligence may help accelerate scientific discovery. It could assist in developing treatments for diseases that still have no cure. It could optimize energy systems, reduce waste, and support sustainable development. And perhaps most importantly, AI could help humanity explore new frontiers, from deep oceans to distant planets. In this vision of the future, AI does not replace humanity. Instead, it becomes a partner in progress. A tool that expands human knowledge and creativity. The choice before humanity. Artificial intelligence is neither purely good nor purely dangerous. Like every powerful technology, its impact depends on how it is used. Humanity now holds a remarkable creation in its hands, a technology capable of transforming civilization itself. The question is not whether artificial intelligence will shape the future. It already is. The real question is, what kind of future will humanity choose to build with it? If you enjoyed this deep exploration into the world of artificial intelligence and the future of technology, make sure to support the journey. Subscribe to Science in Silence for more documentaries about science, technology, and the forces shaping our world. Because the most fascinating discoveries are often the ones happening quietly behind the scenes of our rapidly changing civilization. And together, we will continue exploring them.